It's Anthony with Land Title. I wanted to bring you the update for Lafayette, Colorado for June of 2022. Lots of exciting stuff happening here. Obviously, prices in Lafayette have been skyrocketing, and a lot of that is due to many different things. We have a lot of market factors that have made a difference there, and of course, the Marshall fires and their proximity to that have really changed a lot of what's going on. So one of the big things here is we're seeing 16% average price increase up to 1.1 million in Lafayette. The median though has come up 24% to $1 million. So that definitely has a big factor in what's happening in the market. Now, when we go over to the condo market, let's look at this. So the condo townhouse market is bouncing around all over the place, right? There's not a ton of condo townhouses in Lafayette, but they're not dropping in price by any means. We just have to kind of read between the lines a little bit here. We're definitely seeing that market appreciate pretty similar to the other one. There's just not a lot of inventory to measure that. So take this with a grain of salt, but as you can see, the blue line being 2022 is well above the line from last year outside of this month, which I would expect it to be right back up in a normal level, but sometimes less data points skews the data a little bit. Lafayette's proximity to Louisville and Boulder is really increasing its value. So that price per square foot shouldn't really concern anyone, but it's really starting to rise fast. We're up 7% from this time last year. The condo townhouse market is up 22%. So that gives you some idea of just, what kind of sales are taking place and just how expensive it's getting to live in Lafayette. Now, the big thing here is we talk about supply and demand quite a bit, but the supply of inventory is really driving everything. So if we're going to start seeing more of this market where, we're going to be less, seller get whatever they want, bidding wars are kind of slowing down, we have interest rates rising. A lot of this is really just due to not as many buyers in the marketplace right now. We have higher interest rates, and it's really creating that supply to finally rise. So if you're a seller, it's really time to start focusing more on back to the basics like we used to when we looked at houses. We don't just put a number out and put it on the market and it'll be fine. We have lots of listings still coming to market. It's really similar to this time last year. We have 65 new listings. It's pretty well balanced. We're seeing that curve really in line with where we've been the last 4 years. But the active units are starting to rise because of those buyers. So let's look at the demand here. And when we look at the demand in the market, you're starting to see that those under contracts are waning. Lafayette's down 40% under contract from this time last year. And a lot of that is due to those rising interest rates, right? People are having a hard time qualifying for those homes. So they're starting to sit on the market a little bit longer. Now we're 19% off of last month. So it's happening pretty fast. That month's supply of inventory is double what it was this time last year, but it's still a strong seller's market. We only have 1.5 months of inventory. 4 months is a balanced market. This is really still a pretty plentiful place to be. We were just so extreme on the seller side that we didn't really know what to do with it. So the last slide that I wanted to talk about, and the last thing that's really important in the Lafayette market, it's still moving fast, right? If they're going under contract, they're going under contract in 12 days right now. It's come up quite a bit from the fastest moving market in America last month at 5 days on market, and now we are 12, but at the same time, those expectations are okay. We just need to understand that it's taken 2 weeks to go under contract now instead of a weekend. Now, the percentage close to list price is still really high. We saw that transition starting in March where we started to settle down pretty quickly. And here we are at 103.5% listed sale price, which still means bidding wars are taking place, right? Desirable properties are still going for over asking price. Now, that doesn't mean everything's going over asking price, but we're starting to settle back down into our new norm. We'll be back down in the range of 100% here in no time. So if you want to get a house on the market, get it on the house sooner than later. But if you're a buyer, it's not too late. Definitely keep shopping, and you're really going to be able to start seeing some inventory, which is a really, really good sign for buyers. So if you have any other questions on this market, let me know. I'm Anthony at Land Title. I'll see you next time.